STEM debate competition sponsored by Prince Engineer Mrs. Shillon, FNSC. Now, we had the first round last week, but today we are going to have the second round of the semi-final. But let me not let the cat out of the bag. We'll take this very short break. When we return, I will introduce to you the judges, my accurate timekeeper, and the schools that will be competing. Don't go anywhere. Glad to know that you are still there. The program is still Engineering and You. And like I said earlier, the judges are set. So I'll be handing over to them to introduce themselves to you. Judges.
Good day to you, everyone. Welcome to this edition of this program, The Engineer and You. I am Ifelulu Olugbebi, a member of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, a member of the Nigerian Institution of Agricultural Engineers. It's good to have you here. Thank you.
Good evening, our viewers and our students here present. I'm happy to be on this edition of Engineering and You again. I am Timtokwe Esther Abueji, FNSC, and a member of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, Abeokuta branch. Good evening, everyone.
All right, I have someone that will be checking the time for us to ensure that no one exceeds, and that's our timekeeper for today, Ilaria Ayo, Oguntoyinbo. Ilaria Ayo.
Thank you.
This edition promises to be exciting, promises to be interesting, because this is the second half of the semi-final round of this competition. And to my right, I have St. Peter's College, Olumore. To my left, I have Ebenezer Grammar School. And the topic for discussion, topic for debate, is the future of Nigeria's economy lies in innovation, not in extraction of mineral resources. What is our opinion? I have no opinion on this matter, but I'll be out of your way and allow these students compete. Don't go anywhere.
If digging holes made a country rich, then Nigeria will be the wealthiest nation on earth. But in reality, a nation that only knows how to dig is simply digging its own grave. Good day, Mr. Chairman, distinguished panel of judges, accurate timekeeper, co-debaters, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Adelakun Stephen, the Chief Speaker of Ebenezer Grammar School Senior Ebekodo Abeokuta, and today I will actually affirm the motion that the future of Nigeria's economy lies in innovation, not in the extraction of mineral resources. But before I continue, I would like to define the following key terms. Innovation is the introduction of new ideas and methods of doing things. Extraction is the process of pulling minerals out of the earth. Economy is the state of a country's consumption and production of goods and services, while mineral resources are natural substances found in the earth and having economic value. I will now present my argument to the following irritable points. Firstly, innovation provides economic stability. Extraction is a gamble. When oil prices fall, our naira falls. The National Bureau of Statistics shows that extraction occupies 90% of our exports, but less than 10% of our GDP. Meanwhile, innovation in fintech contributed over 5 trillion naira to the economy alone in 2024. Secondly, innovation adds value to our economy. Nigeria has the second iron ore deposit in Africa, yet we import almost all of our steel. Nigeria is just like a man who owns a cow, sells it for 10 naira, and goes to the market again to buy a small tin of milk for over 50 naira. Whereas, innovation in mechanical processing allows us to turn our iron ore into steel, our cocoa into chocolate, and our crude oil into petrol, keeping the profit in Nigeria while strengthening our economy. In addition, innovation provides mass employment for the Nigerian people. And oil rig uses huge machines but very few workers. The oil sector accounts for less than 1% of total jobs in Nigeria. In contrast, innovation in agri-tech and software engineering provides mass employment for the Nigerian people. The Nigerian tech sector provides employment for 2.5 million people, while innovation provides jobs for our 200 million citizens. Extraction only provides jobs for machines. In conclusion, Mr. Chairman, sir, extraction is a once and done world, but innovation is a forever world. The Stone Age didn't end because the world ran out of stones, but because human beings chose to innovate. If we want a Nigeria that doesn't just survive but lives, we have to choose the mind over the mind. For these reasons, the motion must stand affirmed. Thank you.
face the facts squarely, history exposes motion's weakness. The motion before us is not merely optimistic. It is fundamentally flawed and perilously naive to still claim the fact that Nigeria's economy lies in innovation while dismissing our mineral extraction just simply means putting aside our nation's greatest asset, vast proving worth trillions. With crude oil reserves about 37.28 billion barrels as of January 2025 and a large lithium deposit about $34 billion in recent quarters, exploding worldwide demand. Surrendering mineral extraction will just mean surrendering sovereign wealth, while gambling on innovation cannot yet bear the weight of 220 million persons economy. But before I dive into the reality, I'd like to give honor to those who made this debate a success. Good day, Honorable Chairman, unbiased and impartial panel of judges, accurate timekeeper, my co-debaters, and my always attentive and evergreen audience. The orator before you is no other person but Adewale Collins Oriope, a bona fide student of that great study of knowledge, Semtes College. Today, I stand to energetically, zealously, and emphatically oppose the notion that I sat the future of Nigeria's economy lies in innovation, not in the extraction of mineral resources. Yes, innovation is undoubtedly valuable, but it's still premature and not realistic to suggest that it can successfully displace our vast amount of mineral extraction. Facing the first reality, let's consider the enduring dominance of mineral extraction. Oil alone, we will contribute only about 6 to 7% of GDP in recent quarters, but still account for over 90% of export earning and government revenue. This is not a cost, but a reality. Minerals fund infrastructure, education, and yes, even innovation ecosystem. With a life index of 64 years, it has produced about 42 billion tons of bitumen, 3 billion tons of iron ore, and about 700 million tons of bitumite. According to our former president, Olusegun Obasanjo once said, and I quote, Nigeria is abundantly blessed with mineral extraction, mineral resources, and this can be our driver to economic success. End of quote. This innovation my opponent speaks about requires supply of electricity, high-speed internet, and physical security, which Nigeria lacks. And to gain this, we need a massive amount, and there is only one way to gain the massive amount, through the extraction of mineral resources. With the opportunity of 3 trillion naira to gas reserve, this is the only way we can gain such an amount, considering the agricultural sector. Now, phosphate in mineral resources now help produce fertilizers to help feed the nations. Thank you.
Distinguished judges, my opponents from St. Peter's argued that we need quick cash from oil to survive. But judges, that is just like a student selling his brain to buy a textbook. They focus on what is in the ground, but we focus on what is in our heads. Moreover, let us be firm. Is being dependent on one source of revenue a strength? No, it is a trap. This is our entire economy. It's tied to global prices that we do not control. If oil prices drop tomorrow, the naira crashes. They also argue that we need oil money as seed capital to fund our schools and infrastructure. But let me ask them, we have hid oil for over 60 years, and what has been the result? If money was the problem, then we should have the best schools in the world. Our people should be world class, but what do we get? Money without innovation is like pouring water into an empty basket. They also argue that Nigeria needs to focus on more problems and lacks the resources to solve. But do they know that innovation allows us to solve the very problems they are talking about? Innovation, we do not need more coals. We need smarter power grids. Innovation in better roads. Innovation in civil engineering allows us to provide those that are cheaper and will last longer. Okay.
Starting on the existing protocol, my name is Anishola Saidat, the supporting speaker of Ebenezer Gabasusi Kudabi Kutam. In support of what my chief speaker has said, the first reason you must choose innovation is to gain total control over what you own. Consider the fact that Nigeria possesses over 2 billion metric tons of iron ore. Yet, the National Bureau of Statistics confirms to spend over $7 billion every year to import steel. This happens because we haven't innovated our own way to process that ore. By failing to build our own smart technology, we are essentially buying back our own soil like a massive markup. Innovation is the tool that allows us to stop being a source for other nations and finally start being a force for ourselves. Secondly, innovation leads to smarter and cheaper ways to build our nation. You cannot build a modern country by just digging up limestone. You need the engineering intelligence to use it efficiently. The World Bank report that Nigeria loses over 2 trillion naira every year due to poor maintenance and outdated building styles. When we innovate in civil engineering, we create better designs that makes our roads and bridges last 30 years instead of 5. In addition, thank you.
My worthy opponent has argued that innovation brings about jobs and employment. I disagree with the point. Why? Because innovation jobs and employment, they require high-level skills, leaving millions of people unemployed. Why? But resource extraction supports both skilled and unskilled labor. To buttress more on what my chief speaker have said, I'm Adewale Sodiq from St. Peter's College, and opposing the motion that says the future of Nigeria's economy lies in innovation, not in the extraction of mineral resources. But first and foremost, There's a saying that goes that cannot abandon the roof over to chase the wind. Although innovation is important, but it's unrealistic and even dangerous to suggest that the future of Nigeria's economy does not lie in the extraction of mineral resources. Nigeria has been richly endowed with oil, gas, and solid minerals, and history has shown us that countries that harness their natural resources lay the foundation in which innovation thrives. So I say the future of Nigeria's economy lies in the extraction of mineral resources. Why? Because talking about innovation takes time. And also talking about innovation, Nigeria is not ready for it because of some challenges it faces, like low power supply, high unemployment rate. And also, innovation cannot exist in isolation. It requires stable electricity, proper funding, and stable institutions. And all these are highly supported by income from mineral resources. And also, mineral resources remain Nigeria's most reliable source of national revenue and foreign exchange. Oil and gas have funded national budgets and education. And without revenue from mineral resources, Nigeria will struggle to finance the very innovation my opponents are advocating for. There's an economic truth that says that you must earn before you can invest. So the mineral resources provide the capital to invest in human development and technology. Thank you.
Mountain speaks of code, while people need road. You cannot build a digital skyscraper on the foundation of sand. That simply tells us that mineral extraction is our only way, only engine to fuel innovation. Thank you.
My opponents argued that mineral extraction provides jobs for the skilled and even skilled. But let me ask them, what is the quality of these jobs? Aren't they low wage, high stress, permanent, temporary, and even dangerous jobs? Whereas innovation provides jobs that are safe and permanent. They also argue that Nigeria is not ready for innovation because of challenges. Let's listen. Isn't the only way to deal with those challenges is through innovation? If we have problems in electricity, aren't we to invest in more solar energy? The very way to utilize these minerals is through innovation. Thank you.
In addition, we must accept the reality that the world is moving on and leaving the old ways behind. We are in a global race where the finish line for mineral resources is already in sight. The International Energy Agency reports that global investment in clean energy is now double that of fossil fuels. If we stay in the business of just digging things up, then we are investing in a dying industry. Minerals are a finite wealth. Eventually, they run out of or become useless. Innovation, however, is an infinite wealth. You can run out of oil, but as long as Nigerian skills exist, you can never run out of ideas. Thank you.
My opponent says, I said without power electricity, we can't, that we should use solar energy instead. But this solar energy you're talking about requires batteries. And these batteries for cars are only gotten from mineral extraction. The road you ride in your car, the road you ride your car on, yes. The road you ride your car on requires mineral extraction. Also, mineral extraction helps in fast income. When I say fast income, innovation takes years before you can successfully get something from it. But mineral extraction, when imported, you can easily get your money from it.
My other opponent has argued that innovation is Nigeria's future, but I go against the point. Why? Because innovation without funding is imagination, and also innovation cannot come. Innovation cannot come without proper funding and stable electricity. So I ask you, where without funding comes from? Is it from taxes or from mineral resources? Thank you.
Yes, that is the debate from the two schools. I'm sure you have picked one or two lessons, some on two instructions, some on two education from what they have said. Like I said earlier, the judges are set to give us who is going to go to the first place competition, and those that are going to the third place competition. So over to the judges.
Thank you very much, sir. First, let me say one word to, I think, St. Peter's College, right? Okay, you dwell so much on your rebuttal. And do not focus on your point. So let me say something about the the topic for today. The future of Nigeria's economy lies in innovation, not in the extraction of mineral resources. It's of a known fact that Nigeria is a blessed country when it comes to mineral resources. However, we should know that these mineral resources are exhaustible. On the other hand, innovation promotes diversity. So, how do we now put this together to take Nigeria to where the future really lies? While innovation is essential for sustainable development and global competitiveness, mineral resources extraction remains a critical foundation for our economic stability, looking at Nigeria. A more realistic path forward is to use revenue from our mineral resources to invest in innovations and further diversification of our economy. So I think with this, we have a balance of the gifts, the natural gifts that God has endowed our country with, and to capitalize on it to further work on innovative solutions to making our country a better place. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ma. And on that note, we would like to give our own stand by the results from the competition. And they have done wonderfully well. For the technical content, Ebenezer Grammar School scored 35 points, while St. Peter's College scored 28.5 points. On the rebuttal end, Ebenezer Grammar School scored 17 points, whereas St. Peter's College scored 16 points. For use of English, Ebenezer Grammar School had 32, while St. Peter's College had 30, which comes to a total score of 84% for Ebenezer Grammar School and 74.5% for St. Peter's College.
So this evening, the winner for tonight's debate, that's the semi-finals for today, is Ebenezer Grammar School with a total score of 84%, while St. Peter's College has a total score of 74.5%. Thank you.
Thank you to the judges, and more importantly, thank you to the sponsor, Prince Engineer Shillong, for making this a reality. Now, like I always say on this program, no one is a loser, everyone is a winner, but someone has to go to the finals, while the other has to compete for the third place. So what do we do now? The two schools, we have to cross over and congratulate each other, because like I always say, no one is a loser, everyone is a winner. Thank you very much. So that comes to the end of the semi-final of the STEM debate competition. Next time you see us, it's at the third place and the final competition. Until then, my name is Tunde Olanero. Bye-bye.